Hi, I'm Shuichi Murakami. Welcome to Designing Landscape Form series. In the last few episodes, we have seen that the movements of people and the behavior of water are largely shaped by the form of the land surface. In other words, we have been thinking of the ground as a single surface. But what would happen if the ground were not just one surface, but composed of multiple layers? The spaces for people and water might become richer and more diverse. In this episode, let us explore the possibility. In the episodes on landform, we have been dealing with single layer ground like this. Even if the ground rises by one step like this, or even if it goes up and down repeatedly with unevenness like this, it is still basically one continuous single layer ground. The behavior of people and water follows that one continuous landform. What about this? The higher ground is drawn with solid lines, and the lower ground is drawn with dotted lines. What matters here is not that there is a slight difference in height. What matters is that the higher ground and the lower ground exist as separate surfaces. For example, the higher surface may become the surface for people to move on, while the lower surface may become the surface where water appears. Many of you may have the experience of crossing a stream by stepping from one stone to another above the water. Different grounds give rise to different fields of behavior. This kind of composition is not limited to two layers. For example, what about this? From top to bottom, the first, second, and third ground are each distinguished by different line types. The first, second, and third grounds each exist as separate surfaces. In this way, we can also imagine a three-layer ground. And what about this? From top to bottom, the first, second, third, and fourth layers of ground are each distinguished by different line types. The first, second, third, and fourth layers each exist as separate surfaces. In other words, we can also imagine a four-layer ground. This means that rather than having only one continuous single-layer ground, it is possible to create a composition in which multiple layers of ground coexist. The key to such a composition is that multiple clearly distinguished kinds of ground exist, and that grounds of the same kind appear at the same level at regular intervals. Here is an example of a work in which multiple layers of ground coexist. It is Barnett Park, designed by landscape architect Peter Walker. Please refer to the website shown on the screen for information about the project, including an overview, a plan, and photographs. In the original design, the mesh-like paving, the gridded lawn, and the rectangular water surfaces each had their own distinct presence while coexisting, forming a three-layer composition. In this episode, we learned basics of designing grounds as multiple layers. The key points are that multiple clearly distinct kinds of ground coexist and that grounds of the same kind appear at the same level at irregular intervals. What matters is not simply creating steps of unevenness, but allowing multiple distinguishable surfaces to coexist. By doing so, it becomes possible to create, within a single ground, different fields of behavior, such as a surface for people to move on, a surface where water appears, and a surface where plants spread. Next time, we will think about designing space as multiple layers, not just the ground. If we extend the perspective of layering the ground even further, we begin to see a composition in which different elements, such as paths, buildings, and growth, overlap to form a single space. When we understand space as multiple layers, how might the possibilities of landscape design expand? In the next episode, let us explore that question. See you in the next episode.